V'siyata d'shmaya. V'siyata d'shmaya, we continue. We learned yesterday. We learned the big foundation. Big foundation. Who needs a paper to come to me? What you ready to give? How much value? How much money? Not money. I mean, how much schar? How you say schar? How much merit you pay from? You value life. Life. Chaim. According to Chazal, we learned yesterday, is nothing in the world will give you value to life. I want to tell you, I want this. What?
Which Ma'amar?
Ma'kuf Ayin Vov. I want to tell you a story. Before to get our Koach Hatziu, before we continue. I was walking, I met Arab Medina, the chief rabbi. What? Some time ago, not long ago, I met him, Arab Medina, the chief rabbi of the city of the Sfaradim. He said to me, at the time of the Mabul, of the flood, where Og Melech Boshem was. He was part of the Nephilim. Where was Og Melech Boshem? Where he was? Who knows? Melech Aboshan. The Og, the giant Og, says in Chazal, he was holding the teva, and where was his mouth? His nose.
He was on the rudder in the back.
And holding the thing, and his nose was in the teva that he could breathe.
Yeah.
Inside the teva, and it's only, and then where's the aruba when the thing goes out, and the aruba is only the Chazal says only his nose is inside, and all his body outside. Chazal tells us he was suffering because the mambul was very, very warm and hot and cold, boiling water, tremendously pain like you never saw.
How does his nose got in the
Okay, I don't know. This is Chazal tell how it was exactly. Mistoma from the window or from the top. I don't know exactly. Says it was inside. Exactly was Chazal tells us his thing was only in his body. It says a body outside, only the nose inside. So he says Medina says, you see, a guy suffers. It was 100. It was almost a year, 100 something days. 152 the days it was the marble, and then two went down. Almost a year, everything together. And he suffered the marble to live. So he says, what it means the power, what it means to have life. Life is valuable. You have to value life.
fight for it?
You have to fight for it. You have to want for it. You have to really ready to know life. Value life. So Medina says to me, see the value of life? We think life is, we ready to sell our life for $5, for $10. We sell our life for everything. But if we know the life, Eichus HaChayin, like Rosh used to say, value, Eichus HaLife is Torah. You know, the value of life is Torah. So what you give, you know how much you're able to sell, able to give up everything for living life. So what the Oig Melech HaBosh is a Koach Hatziu to give us. He's sitting there outside the marble. The marble is above him, burning his body. It's burning. It was a physical body. His Og is, the water is going, panching in, holding. He has to hold the teva for all the time. Almost a year holding. He cannot eat. He doesn't eat. He has to hold it for 1 year. You know what I mean? Fasting, maybe he ate. Maybe I don't know. He ate. I don't know exactly. Maybe I don't know exactly how he ate. Maybe Noach gave him food. I don't know exactly. His stomach Noach gave him food.
Maybe he ate the birds. He brought them out of
The bear, who knows what? How he died exactly, that was not the point. The point is, life,
fish.
It's everything. This is the piece where we started yesterday. It's everything. And yoike ki yoike al chazman. Is no value. Yoike, you take $100, $100 million, $1 billion, and you take time. What is worth it more? You take a scale. You take all the money in the world, value, and you take time. And yoike is no value. Is no yoike means, how you say yoike in English? Yoike. What? Special, is no, what you say? Who does yoike, the word yoike? Is no expensive, like expensive of time. Time means life. Value your time of your life. Value time. One of the big tikkuns I heard from one of my rabbis, his name was Rav Hertzman. I heard from my brother Yeshua, he says, if person wants to start, what is the tachbula, eitza? How you value time? Who wants to do, how you give value to your time? What is the tachbula eitza? A way how to work on it. What is this eitza tachbula said? Rav Hertzman. He was a Talmud of the Borber. He learned by Rav Cheskel Levenstein. He learned by, and also was in Keller. He was basically a big yeshiva wanted to be mashgiach in the yeshiva here. Maybe Tommy wanted to be mashgiach here. And he said a good eitz tachbula. Who wants it ready to do? Is a tachbula to give you a way to help you to value time. So who's ready to change his way, to listen to the advice? Because I don't want to say the advice if you don't want to do it. It's very easy advice. It's very easy to do it.
Value time or value life?
Value time. Time is life.
What time is life?
This is already we come to here. Value time. Here he tells you value time. So who's ready to listen to the advice? It's a very, very good. Here's one. Who else to listen? Very good. Who else want to listen? It's a very easy advice to do. Very good. Who else also? It's a very small tachbula to do it. Very good. Another one. Who else? One more. Who else? No. Very good. You said your hands. You pick up your hand? No. You don't do it? You will pick up your hand? No. Very good. You ready to do Nachman Yosef? Very good. Who else? Very good. So you have 90% of the base smash. Only two guys not. 90%. All the base, only two people not. So say, you want to do the tachbula. I don't want to give the advice. Because if I tell you the advice, you don't do it, you lose the value of the advice. It's very easy advice what to do it. And I show you in Poiskim, and showing you Machonim, you see that advice. But first get the advice. I now give you the advice when he said what to do. He says every time when you write a word of Torah, a shtik of Torah, a letter, write down the time, where you're standing, where you're holding. You write down now, you say, I'm standing, I write this shtik of Torah, you say, I'm holding, today is Monday, I'm in Har Zion, Tafshin, the date. Make everything right. Today is, you say, Yom Sheni, the Parshas Vayechi, in Har Zion, and Har Zion, you stay in Har Zion, you write the day. And if you Shalayim, you can write also the hour. Because you Shalayim, you write hours. And now is 1 o'clock in the Shoechad. You write the letter. This he said, if you write time when you're standing, when you're holding, it says it gives you, as Havatzma said, it gives you able to focus, to give you, start to realize time and space. This is Tachbula, he said. Again, if you write down, you write a letter, or you write something, you write, I'm now, today is Monday, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Hatzion, I wrote this letter. I'm Sunday, and I'm Meitzad, 7 o'clock at night, in my house. I'm writing this. Give time and place and what you're doing. Everything you do, you write down. This he says. You're writing something. Give it time. I'm now in this thing I wrote in the bus going from Meitzah to Shalayim. Shabbos, this right, you will get time. This thing, Sunday, this day. They gave a time and space. What are you doing? He says, the moment you do that tachbula, he says, it helps a person to be realized and give value to his time. Because a lot of people says, what different yesterday, you day, 10 years ago? You don't have time. I wrote this a week ago. I wrote it today. There's no difference. But if you give time and you give place, this I wrote, and the Motzei Shabbos I wrote this, and this I wrote Sunday morning, afternoon. And so you get time and space. You connect it. And I heard from my uncle Jerry, my uncle. He said, how a person gets a good luck to be successful in life, he has to connect three things. Mazal. What does mazal mean? Mem, makom, place. Zayin is time. Lamed is to do. Means to do in the right thing, in the right time, in the right place. This is good luck. Means to do it in the right time, in the right place. If you do it not the right time, not the place, you're not functioning, you're not exactly, you're not living with the reality. This gets us to be in the reality. Now we're in the corona, in the world, Tavshin, Pei Aleph, all the world now is a corona, there's a seger. So I wrote this in this time, Messiah. I heard this from Rav Toker. He said to me, you see this Shtickut Torah? I wrote, and then in 6-day war, I was in my house here. Everybody wrote this, all the Shtickut Torah I wrote in the time 6-day war, when all the bombs are blowing around Yerushalayim. I wrote this Shtickut Torah at that time. She said, this has value. It gave time and space and hour. So he gave time and space and hour. It gives you value. Av Herzman says, it gives you value. Value gives you erech for time and time. Because what we said in Chazal say, en yoiker ki yoiker hazman. Is no yoiker. We said, is no, I said it again, yoiker. Is no valuable, is no expensive. It was better with expensive, right? Is no expensive of time. But us, time is nothing. I come late to the Seder. I come 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Rabbi Shua Cohen is famous of time. He's living in that generation. He says, he lived in yeshiva, he is yeshiva. He says for 10 years, he never came late to the yeshiva. He says, 3 times I came late for 3 seconds. What he said, 3 seconds, 7 seconds, and 5, sorry, that, and 10 seconds, he came late. And it was not for all the years, 7 years in the yeshiva, never came late. Only difference, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, and was a reason for it. A person starts to live time, gives time and space for his time. Hashem gives you life. What's the difference? I talked to some girls. He says, what difference? The guy's 20 years old, 25 years old, 20 years old. But they don't make a difference. But it's a big mistake. My father says, you have to be makpid on time. Age means something. The Yeshiva of Sabotka asked my brother Yitzchak, how old is my father? Which age is born? Which month? The difference is 1 month difference. What if he's 1 year, 1 month? It was almost the same age. Which day, the difference of age, these details has a difference and a bigger picture. But us, there's no difference if time, I'm 20 years old, 30 years old, 25, there's nothing in the time. It's true in one concept. But now, after we learn the Saba Mikelem, and it gives us a big definition of time, and all the yeshivas, everybody, all the yeshiva, basically, everybody accept themselves to work on it. So what is the pool is? You have to write down. When you write something, write down. I wrote this thing, Monday, this hour, and my yeshiva and Atzir. I wrote this in my room. I wrote this in the bus. I wrote this and there. Give time and space what you're doing. Then it gives value what you do. It gives value. It gives mokum your value. It does. If not, it gives value what you do. If not, we lose. We lose ourselves. Our life, I'm 60 years old. I'm 20 years old. I'm 10 years old. There's no difference. Because time has no meaning to us. Time has no meaning. A guy could be in yeshiva 40 years. A guy's 10 years. He thinks it's equal. I saw it. I saw a guy in yeshiva. I saw a guy 15 years old. 15. And the guy's in yeshiva for 40 years. He talks to him like an equal. He's 40 years old learning Torah. And you're only 2 years learning Torah. And you think they're equal. Why comes that concept? Because we lose time. We lost time-wise. We lost the concept of time. We have to be above time, but we in a level, I agree with you, like my father says you have to be above time. My father says above time and control time. But we're in the level, we have no time, but we have no value of time. So we have to start, what is the Tachbula Sarav Herzman? Everybody starts the Tachbula. We have to write down dates, times. I wrote this thing in the yeshiva, this day, this time, this date. I wrote it now we're holding this date. Yud Gimel Tevis. I'm holding in the afternoon, Atzion. Give yourself time and place. When you do that, what you say, Chaim? Everything, mitzvahs, but first start in learning. You're writing down time. Mitzvahs, you do this, you do that. It gives you time and space, who you are. It gives you're standing. Hashem put you here in Atzion and not in America, in Chicago, in the Vegas, and you're not in Tel Aviv, and not in Haifa, it gives you spot in space. That gives you makom and zman. It gives you achno to the time. It gives you connected to the reality of the world. You're not over space and over time. You have Rishonim and Achronim. You have Rishonim and Achronim. So this is no difference of Rishonim and Achronim. We're equal. Like my father says, you can argue with this level. You cannot argue with guys. As I remember, a guy I want to argue with the Noite B'Yehuda. He knows the Noite B'Yehuda. You can argue with the Noite B'Yehuda. You can't. He thinks he sees a small Noite B'Yehuda. You argue with him. You cannot even know the beauty. So a moment, live in time and space, and this is because of the Rebbe didn't like the encyclopedia. What was the power of the book encyclopedia of the Talmud? They bring machlokes to know the beauty, and this person wrote it today, a parish today. They make the he said this opinion, that opinion. No, and in logic, he said one svara, he said another svara. But if you look more deeper, he lived 100, 200, 250 years ago. He lived now. So his svara has different value. You give time and space. I agree with you, his svara against that svara. I agree with this to say one svara, but you value his svara, you have to think twice, 50 times. Before you go against that svara, you think 50 times more. You cannot give. You don't take a svara against a svara. You don't take a moira and a tana the same time. You're not the same time. You cannot make the same time. And how we do that, the tachbul is you make time what you write down. What you want to say, Chaim? I don't hear you, Chaim. I don't hear you.
Hardest concept to understand is time.
Okay. So I'll tell you eitzah what to do. I know this idea is very good, but I give eitzah. I heard from a Herzman.
Yeah, no, I'm just adding to it.
You say it's a hard thing to understand time.
It's the hardest thing there is.
Yeah, very good. Very good. They say very good. Sharon Zimmerman is time is a hard thing to really.
The hardest. It's the hardest.
But we're giving eitzah. Connect to time. Connect to the time by writing the date and space where you're holding. Give yourself time. Make yourself. I wrote this here. I said this. I did this mitzvah and Cheshvan, Kislev, Tevis. I did this mitzvah and this place and this time. You know what I mean? Give yourself time and space to connect to it. Don't be isolated of time. Time and space. You know, because if not, it's the Meshech Chochmah says, the Meshech Chochmah says, how Moshe Rabbeinu knew what was Chatzos. He had no watch. How Moshe Rabbeinu knew what is Chatzos? He says, because a person lives, or Jewish person lives, according to Minyan, he has Vasikin, and he has Tzeis HaKochavim, he lives with time, he knows what is Chatzos. He don't need a watch. You don't need a watch to tell you Chatzos. A Jewish who is connected to time, they know exactly how to move the time, how to which. You know, you take Rabbi Yoshiv, our generation, he's the same, walking the same time and the second, every day the same time. He was living time-wise, every moment, every time. People, Talmidei Chachomim, they knew exactly the master of time without a watch. They don't need the watch. The watch is I don't say that it can help you, but the bottom line, you know, you connect the time, you connect yourself, so you know how to relate, you connect the time, so you value your time. They say the same of the name of Avan Kotler. He says, why Avan Kotler came Gedol Ador, and a lot of people in the generation did not come Gedol Ador. So what they say in this time, it says Avan Kotler value minutes, and everybody in his generation value hours. Less 1 hour, less 2 hours. Every hour, they 1 hour not learning. He says 1 minute, I don't know. He value minutes. And today, our generation, we value days. And hours, even days today. You know, I learned today, I don't learn today. You know, today we work with days. But our generation is living hours. A different, and minutes, you know, different levels. But get that concept. We have to be connected to time. We're in a level of, our level today, we have to connect to time. That cannot be. A guy's 15 years old. He only started to learn. He take about Tshuva. He only started to learn. He argues with a guy's 40 years old in yeshiva. I know, so he can argue with him, and not. And learning. He can argue. He can say, one second, but he has to know, time-wise, he's 40 years old. You're 15 years old. Value, 1 second. His svara has more value than you. Think twice before you argue. Think 3 times before. His means difference. But why you don't make the difference? Because you're not connected to time. You only like a seichel. So there's a big avodah to work on it, to work on the time, work on it. So we learned today, before we connected this yesterday, we learned, value time, space and time. No, I said time helps you to connect it to space. But this the Eitzah of the Heltzman said. How you connected? You connected to write down time and where you are. I'm now where? In yeshiva, I wrote this. I'm now in my house in Meitzah. I'm now in my room, in this room, I wrote this thing. I'm now here. Time is given, time and space where you wrote it. When you do that, he says about it's when you connect to time. If not, you know what I mean, like night and day, all balagan, all is called chulent. You're not connected to, you know, difference day and night. And you learn the suga meitav. The guy said, wait, 2 weeks of learning meitav? What? Meitav, 2 weeks? A guy says, 2 weeks learning meitav. 2.5 weeks learning meitav. I said, wait 1 second. You think we spend our time with 2 weeks and do nothing? No, I had 2 minutes I read the Gemara, 2 minutes I do meitav. It doesn't go that way. Every day is another chiddush. Every day is a new world. Every day is a new concept. It's not, you know, you lost the time. Every day is a new avona, a new understanding, a new deepness, a new chiddush of new understanding of Hashem, the greatness of Hashem. So we have to connect. Al chiddush of Torah. Before we start, we continue the Musar Shmuas. life, you have to value life as everything. So one of the tachbulas is time. It's a mikra. It's only a time. Time is a mikra of life. Life is essence, is eika. But the mikra of time is only a mikra. It's a mikra of is only a simon of life. I'm living in this life, and there's this thing. Then you connect it. Some people make a tough alika. A lot of people make a big shtickle. They says he lived in this time. It means because of that, his way Torah is this way, that way. All it's philosophy. We don't do that. We don't do that way. You know why this shtickle like this? Because he lived this time and that way. He said this way. And because if they said it, we don't work that way. But first thing we have to get the concept. Our job is to connect the time. To be connected to it. We have to connect ourselves to the real time. Our job is to be connected to real time. When then we start to be living the time that Hashem gave you, that wonderful gift, he says, Matana meraba meruba. Hashem gave you a big gift, is time. He gave you life. So we have to start with time. Start the time Hashem gave you. Time. Don't kill your time. The job of the world today is to kill time. A guy says to me, I'm at the Sega. When I do the Sega, when I do Sega, I don't know. I mean, you can learn Torah, you can do mitzvahs. You have a phone, you can talk geshuri, everything you want. Life is a life. You have to kill the time. I kill the 2 weeks. No. Time is only a siba. But our life is Torah. Our life is Torah. Do the Torah, keeping the Torah, doing the mitzvahs right. So, a moment we connected to it, to time, this will help us to start to realize life of Torah. Bizarre. Try to give that. Then you have Seder, and you have Seder of time, and a lot of pulas of time. There's a chalokim of time, and a chalokim. Okay, we have to stop now. But the bottom line is only preparation for yesterday. We looked yesterday, we were talking more about it. But please work on this tachbula. Write down date and times where you learn. You learn today. I learned today. This make a date. I learned from here to here this date. I learned tomorrow another date. Everything you do, make a date to it. Even Havana make a date. I understand this thing is not date today. Trying to, as a chinuch, it's educating. And you make dates, Hashem will help us more to realize in our time and give us a really, start to live eichus hachayim. Bezat Hashem, Bezat Hashem. Skadei, Shmei Rabo.